Hey guys, welcome back to Friday night basic training stories and a little bit of the poet training start, which poet stands for performance orientated electronic training. Yeah. So I finished all the small little the bits of the Irish whiskey. Now we're on to back to this one here, the Tin Roof Distillery. Just a shot of that whiskey plank. Smooth caramel, big oak, and smoke. Lunenburg, 42%. A little shot of that. Well, that's another Friday. We're all still here. That's pretty good. Bingo bango. Put that down there. Try a taste of it. Smell it first. Yeah. Yeah. Tasty. Well, you can really taste the caramel. Oh, yeah. Caramel in it. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Where are we at now? So, I did a little research, and it looks like we started Cornwallis, because I got a certificate thing there, on 7th of July, 1982, and we finished September 17th. Yeah, that was 11-week period there. And, but I think around the 8th week, I mean, we did go home to Dartmouth. We went to Dartmouth. But we also got to go down to Digby, which was just down the road a ways, right? So a bunch of us went down there to the pub, and we met a couple of girls from Saskatchewan. Yeah, we danced with them and stuff. I don't know, that's pretty cool. I think this is Scotty. I think this is Scotty Larmer. I think with his head back there. These two girls are from Saskatchewan. Let me put the light on here a sec. Probably can't see that great. There's no light shining on it. There, I can see better now. And I think that looks like Scotty. And the two girls from Saskatchewan. You can see the old stubby beer bottle there. Looks like a schooner to me. I think it's a schooner. Uh, there. Oh, look at that! I'm happy there. I'm there dance with one of them. Oh yeah, that's great. Down at Digby, we had to wear a full uniform, take our jackets off. I'm doing a slow dance now. Slow dance. There we go. Bingo bango. Now this is girl sitting on my lap. She's from the base. She's from Cornwall. She's in training too, I think. And then the French guy's standing over. I don't look too happy there, but I let her sit on my knee. She wanted to get a picture. Sitting on my knee, so I said okay. And there's slack ass there, Lacasse. You see part of his face. I can't remember that guy's name, but some of you guys out there remember that guy's name. Can't remember his name. Anyway, yeah, that was there, and I did find the picture of me with the sergeant stripes on when I was in Aldershot. Yeah, what I used to do is on the weekends I'd leave Aldershot with the 5 quarter, the Armory 5 quarter Chev truck, GMC, and I would drive it to Shearwater Base out there by Eastern Passage, and I'd pull into the gatehouse, and I'd tell them I'm leaving it parked here for the weekend because I'm going to visit my girlfriend in Dartmouth. And they said, no problem, Sarge, no problem. Just park it there, lock it, give us the keys in case we got to move it. I said, okay, yeah, no sweat. So that was easy. So I guess it was August '86. So That would have been 4 years since I seen Desi. That was 4 years. But still, who makes sergeant in 4 years? You're going to make corporals if you don't screw up. You're going to make corporals in 4 years, but you're not going to make sergeant. Anyway, here's a picture right there. Yeah, proud there. Got the old sergeant stripes on. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was cool. And I got another one. There's a real good one. So let's see. I believe it was just an hour before we had to do our graduation march in Cornwallis. And you guys remember that song back 1981, Jay Giles Band, right? Centerfold. You know that song. So I wanted to got one of the guys to snap a picture of me, and I'm happy because I've graduated. Basically, all I got to do now is the march, and we're done. We didn't leave there right away. We were held over there till November, but I was damn happy then when I'll just show you. I'll just show you here. Yeah. So Jay Giles Band. I was thinking of that. I guess when I was holding that picture, I was pretty fit there. I was pretty happy there. Oh yeah, great. Yeah, took it to Canucks and they developed it. They had no problem developing that, so that was cool. I got that picture there, and let's see where else we're going to now. Oh yes, okay. Got to tell you a story. Okay, when we were in barracks, and I don't know when it was. Could have been probably week 4, maybe week 5. We were getting bored and we wanted to have some fun. So it was late at night, and Kramer is sleeping, of course, across from me in his single bed, but he's not on the bed. He's underneath the bed with a fire blanket on. And me and 4 other guys, I can't remember who the other 3 guys were, but might have been even more. And we said, what we're going to do, we're going to go down the hallway a ways, probably about, I don't know, 8 beds away. We're going to pick up Private Grow. He's on a top bunk, so we each grab a leg. He's out flat, cold. He's sleeping. So is Kramer. So before we go get Grow, we lift Kramer's bed up and we move it down the hall out of sight, so we can't see it. Then we go down to get Grow. We all grab a corner and we lift them up, and we carry the bed down toward Kramer, and then we gently set the bed over Kramer. Okay? So, as far as Kramer knows, that's his bed, right? So, it was either me or someone there. We got underneath there and we nudged Kramer. Kramer grows in your bed, man. And Kramer got up. He's all sleepy. He's looking like this, and he sees somebody in his bed, and he starts pounding. He starts pounding on Grow. Get the fuck out of my bed! Get the fuck out of my bed! And Grow doesn't know what's happening. He's trying to cover his face and all this, and and then we told them they were pissed. They were pissed. We say, yeah, the game was up then. So, but some of the things you do. Some of the things you do when you're bored, right? That was good. So Shards and Stripes. Oh yeah, that's the first thing I did when I got some money. I went up to Canucks and I bought myself a Walkman. First one they came out, cassette Walkman. Yeah, used to slap in the old Loverboy cassette tape and put a blue bandana on. I'd be singing "Everybody's Working for the Weekend." because we were working for the weekend, running our ass off, marching all over the base. Damn. Yep. Then we had to do our 1 mile. We were training for it to try to get our best time for our 1 mile run, and I think the pass was you had to be 12 minutes or under. That was the pass. And the best I could do running my chubby ass body around was 10 minutes 7 seconds. 10 minutes 7 seconds was the best I could do. I couldn't break any better than that. But there was this guy, shorter guy than me. He had these little legs. I think it was Lavier. I'm not sure, man. It was him or somebody that looked like him. Might have been Lavier. Anyway, he did the friggin' 1 mile in 7 minutes and 46 seconds, if I recall. He was the top. He was the top of, I think, all the squads. That's, if you look it up, that's pretty damn fast. That's pretty damn fast. So now let's see. We're getting out of Cornwallis. We had to stay back and do some odd jobs and fill our time up in the day. Wasn't that much. We were mostly sitting back in our barracks, going to breakfast and lunch, and we won't work that hard. So we went in November, and we went to Kingston, Ontario first for our poet training, and TQ3, what you call it, poet training. So I got a picture here of all the guys. Everybody's probably seen this picture before. Well, the guys that have been in it. I don't remember everybody. Standish, I remember him. This guy name started with a T. Topple or Tipple, Tupper, maybe, I don't know. Mayette, Moose, they call him Moose. He's from Meteghan, I think. Yeah. Carey, don't know where he was from, maybe Ontario. And the old Pat Kramer right there, man. Look at that. He's got the Clint Eastwood look, man. Clint Eastwood. That guy, I don't remember this guy's name. Can't zoom in enough to see it. I know this guy. That's Kirby Rayner. Right there, man. And that guy, look at that. Nice pop belly on me, too. Look at that. Right there. That guy's name was Armitage. And then, of course, there, Wiggins. Patrick Wiggins. Or it's just Patrick Wiggins. Yeah, he went through all the training with us from St. John, New Brunswick, man. This guy. He stayed in, I heard, and he went all the way up to Chief Warrant Officer. Yeah, Kirby stayed in a long time, too. He went up in rank, too. Yeah. This guy bailed after eight years and 6 months. And Kramer, he stuck it out, too. Right to the end, man. Right to the end. Yeah. So that's what that's our class group there in Kingston. And let's see, what do we got here? So in Kingston, we would we go down to, I had to look it up because I couldn't remember. There was a place called the Plaza, and it was down by the penitentiary, just past the penitentiary. It was a strip joint down there, and it was always hopping down there. And there was other places called Jenny B. Goods in town, eatery place, a bar. We went there. Another one called the Toucan and Kirkpatrick's. I think that's the one we used to go to after we did Remembrance Day parade. I remember going to there. It was called Toucans or something like that. And yeah, they served some British ales and stuff like that. And we went to Stages. Stages was a big hopping place. And it was still there when my daughter Sam went to university there in 2000, what was that, 2010 or 11? 2012 maybe? Yeah, it was still there, same bar. Yeah. And she was a waitress there for a little while. Yep. Another one that came up was called the Lakeview Manor. Now, I might have been there, but geez, I can't recall that name. There's another popular one. On the base, now, it's a junior ranks mess, so where we used to go on the base. Yeah, McNaughton side or something like that. But I think they called it the Electrolyte Club. For some reason, I'm thinking it was called the Electrolyte Club. But I could be wrong. But I was in there one night, and I think it was at the bar. I was drinking, standing up. And some French dude comes over, and he, like, I think it's just on purpose, like, stepped into me, like, I wasn't walking. He was the one walking. And then he says, looking at me like he wants to fight, right? And I thought, what's this guy want, right? I was just having my beer, right? And then one of the dudes there, he's from Cape Breton, this guy, Johnny Windsor. I'm sure that guy was a boxer, man. I'm sure he was a boxer. His neck was just goddamn big, man. And he had these big meaty hands, right? And he comes over and he says to me, he goes, I'll take care of this. I'll take care of this, Ron. I'll show you a picture of him. When he was he went to Borden with us, but I'll just show you a picture of him. Just look at, like, he's got no neck, this guy here. Right there. Right? So he comes over and he's staring at this guy. They're face to face, right? And all of a sudden he goes down like that, like he's reaching for something off the ground, right, like that. And then he closes his fist and he comes up with as hard as he can and just flying. He hits Buddy underneath there like that, and Buddy just lifted right off the friggin' floor. He went flying back in the air, flying back, flat on his friggin' back, right out. He was friggin' flat out, man. Knocked him right the hell out. And I thought that's good, man. You know what? That dude never bothered me again. He never even came and looked at me sideways. Because old Johnny Windsor knocked the living shit out of him. That was good. That was damn good. Yeah. What else we got here? Oh yeah, okay. This is a funny story. But just protect the innocent. I won't mention the names, but anybody that was in that room would know who it was. It's kind of a funny story. So, let me get a Guinness here, just a second. I got my father's old mug right here. Yes. Oh, if I can get it out. Right there. And we have a Guinness right there. Yeah, so we were in the barracks in Kingston, and we were all gathered in a room or something. Maybe we were having a beer or something. I can't remember. And in comes this one of the dudes, and he goes, "I think something's wrong. Something's wrong with me." We're all looking like, what's wrong with you? And he goes, "Down there," he goes. All right, okay. And so, doesn't he just drop his pants? And he goes, "Look." Well, his balls were as big as tennis balls. He goes, "Something's wrong." And one of the guys spoke up, "I'd say something's wrong. you got to go see a doctor. You got an infection or something, right? God, that was funny. Well, it was funny for him. It was a medical problem, but you got to sort it out. You got to sort it out. I don't know what it was. Some type of weird virus or something, infection, or I don't know what the heck it was. But anyway, they gave him something for it, and after a week, swelling went down. It's all better. All better now. Yep. Well, that's a story that just some of the stories that stand out in your head, right? That one does. That one does. Now, what else here? What do we got here? CFB Borden, more training. So I think what it was, they asked us, the group, and they said, okay, who wants to volunteer to go to Borden? And you can go there and you can pretty well start your training right away, if I remember this correctly. Because if you stay in Kingston, you're going to have to wait for the course. It's going to be a bit before the course starts. But if you want to, guys, you want to get your training done with and get onto your bases, get posted to your base, then you should, do that. So a lot of us volunteered to go to Borden, and that's what I did with the other guys, right? And so here's a group picture of us in Borden. Look at all the names on the back. All the names are on the back. I can show you that. And then you could pause it and read them. So you got Johnny Windsor, guy that kicked ass for me. Tim McGinnis. These guys are both Cape Bretoners. They end up getting out of the Army, Air Force. I don't know where they're going, but they end up going Navy, these two guys. They went out to BC. This guy, Maxted. Kramer, of course. Milray. Ron Milray. He's got the first same name as me. Sean McComb, right there. Sean McComb. This guy's name was Price. I think it was Bill Price. Let me look at the back. Was it Bill Price? I don't know. Andy Price. Andy Price. Okay. Yeah, okay. This guy, I don't really care for that haircut, but that's me. Greg Masters, Newfoundlander. Bob Spence, I think I went to his place. He lived in Perth Andover, I think. We went to his house. And when you wake up in the morning at his place on the front porch, you look out at the mountains. It looks like a moose. The shape of the mountains looks like a moose. His head down, like he's eating something off the ground. It was a sharp place. Kirby Rainier again, right? PEI dude. He's from PEI, and then you got Pat Wiggins from St. John, New Brunswick, or Rothesay. He would say, "I'm from Rothesay." He's wearing this tag, so he's like the class dude in charge. He'd be the class dude in charge. I guess we took turns probably getting that badge, whatever. But that's it. And there's the back. If you could pause it. Of course, that's 1983. Block 2, Poet, CFB Borden, or some people call it CFB Boredom, because it was so far from everything. Closest town was Barrie, Ontario, so you had to drive 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe to get to Barrie. But in between Barrie and the base, they had a strip joint. And Jesus, didn't they bring in, it's crazy, like 30 girls every couple days. It was 30 new girls every 2 days. It was just like they outdid some of the Toronto bars in that aspect. Anyway, let's see. Okay. Borden. So 1.5 hours. Yeah. So yeah, being that Borden was only 1.5 hours from Kramer's place. Pat Kramer's place, an hour and a half. It was just an hour and a half drive, right? So we'd go back to Kramer's, mostly just me and him. I don't know if he brought anybody else with him. But one time I got back to his house on a Friday, but I guess it was a Saturday night, it must have been. And he said, "Hey, the boys are going on, the local boys in Malmö are going on a gravel run. You want to go with them?" I said, "Yeah, I guess." I said, "What's a gravel run?" He goes, "What we do, we get a 2-4 beer, and we got the guy driving. The guy's driving, and there's all these interconnecting roads in the country. They're like gravel roads, right? They can go for miles. And what we do is we're in the back seat, but we sit out with our asses out the window, and we get the beer on the roof of the car, and we're drinking beer as the guy's driving. And sometime he'll try to get his body out too, but we're just flying down the friggin' down these gravel roads, man. We're doing like friggin' 80 kilometers an hour, just fucking boogieing, right? And there's just dust everywhere. Rocks are pinging and flinging all over the friggin' place, right? It's not the safest after or pre-nighttime activity, but that's what they did down there. That's what they did in Malmö for fun, right? I don't know if anybody ever got hurt, but maybe they did. That was fun. So let's see. Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, if we're so close to there, Kramer's, and I'm sure some of the other guys from base came too. We might have went directly from the base down to Cambridge, Ontario. And Kramer knew of the place, or he might have been there before, or he knew his friends that went there or something. But it was called the Hawk's Nest, and it was Ronnie Hawkins. Yeah, Ronnie Hawkins, the rocker, right? It was one of his pubs, and it was a strip joint, of course, strip joint, and you know, big ass bouncers in there, right? You didn't mess around there. You towed the line, you just drank your beer and watched the stage, and you didn't mess around. But sometimes you got invited to come up on stage to assist the girl, and I got called up one time to assist the girl. And she was wearing panties, of course, and she had a bra on. I think she had a bra on, yeah. And the panties had a zipper on them. And so she's going like this, like she's calling me up to the stage. I'm back about 25 feet from her, sitting at a table, but she looks right at me. So I go up. She's come up on stage. I go up on stage. She goes, "Zip those down for me, will you?" So I started to put my hand out. She goes, "No, no, 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 no. Not with your hand. With your mouth," she said. So being a good soldier, I had to do it. I had to do it, and the boys all got a good kick out of it. So I got in there, and I had to shake my head and pull the zipper down, and I think, yeah, I completed the task. And then I went back and had some more beer. That's what I remember from Ronnie Hawkins Hawkness. It's a pretty cool bar. Yeah, that was all right. Let's see. It's not a whole lot more. I'm trying to think now. Oh, geez, I know one. In Borden. This is funny. A bunch of us, I know Kramer was there. I think maybe Maxted was there. Maybe Wiggins. Possibly Sean. But he might have went home for the weekend. He might not have been there, but he could remember this. So we're in the golf clubhouse. Like, there's a bar there, and there's a jukebox and all this stuff. And there was a French guy there, and he kept putting on songs that we didn't like these songs, right? We didn't care for these. I don't know if they're disco style or whatever they were. We wanted some, me and Kramer wanted some Bob Seger or I don't know, Billy Idol, or I don't know, something rocking, right? We want something good, right? So he'd put in a coin, put on some song. I'd go up, I'd put my coin in, override it, put my song on. We went back and forth like this about 4 times, right? And he kept going up there and putting coins in. I thought, Kramer, I said, we're going to shut this place down. We're shutting her down. What do you mean? What are we going to do, shut her down? I said, I just, down the hallway, I seen the master breaker that's going to shut this whole this whole bar down. It's going to shut all the lights, going to shut that jukebox off. It's going to kill everything. Okay. So I walk over, pull the main breaker. His French, whatever song he had on there, the music died, and all the lights went black, and we just boogied out the doors. We were running across a golf course, just boogieing, running our asses, so they wouldn't find us, and they didn't find us. That's good. Yeah, I don't remember much about the club there. The club in Borden. We did go to the club on base because this was on base too, but it was the golf course part of it. But yeah, yeah, we did a lot of schooling there. A lot of schooling, just a lot of theory, right? There wasn't a whole lot of hands-on. It was all real in-depth theory on different electronic pieces of gear and stuff like that, right? So yeah, wasn't too bad. But let's see. I'm trying to figure where we're going to go next. After this, probably the next timeline will be so we did the Borden thing. We'll be coming back to Kingston, but we got to leave Kingston around, I don't know, I think it was November, end of October, maybe early November. I think it was October. We had to leave there, and that's probably where I'll pick up the next story. Let's see. No, there is a story I can tell you right now before we shut her down. So I guess it was in the summer of '83. Of course, I remember at the barracks there, Sean had a 500 Ascot Honda. It was just like a single cylinder motorcycle with a little seat on it about this long. And he said, you want to go down to Lindsay with me, down to my parents' place for the weekend? I thought, yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? So this little thing, you know what I mean? And so I get on the back. I got about this much seat, right? And I'm hanging on for dear life, right? Because I don't like bikes, right? You know what I mean? I never rode a bike back then. So off we go. I don't know what that trip is. 2 hours? I don't know what it is. Something like that. Kingston to Lindsay. So we're just flying down the highway, man. And I'll become behind this big 18-wheeler. I don't know what it was until Sean friggin' cranked her and he passed it. And I look up, it's Canadian Tire. It's Canadian Tire 18-wheeler. But we're just flying, and then I see in the distance the car's coming. And he gives her more, and then we just get in. The car goes by. We just get in, man. In time. And we get to Lindsay. And then I think we're out in his Suburban or something. We're out in a truck, and we're driving through town, and all of a sudden, my radar, beep, I spot a white TR6 on a lawn in front of someone's house, big for sale sign on it. And I'm thinking, I could buy that. And then I could drive that back to Kingston and not be on the bike. so I checked into it. Yeah, they wanted $5,000 for it. And I got it checked out at the local crappy tire. They put it on the hoist. I looked at it with them, and we looked at everything underneath, and you know. And then I went to the TD local TD bank, and I got the loan. I got the loan there for the TR6. I think it was $215 a month, and that was pretty heavy payment back then, back in '83. So I got it, and that's what I drove back. And man, that car, man, until it gave me trouble. That car I loved it. It was awesome. Drove that back to Kingston and tooled around there, and yeah. And then, like I say, me and Kramer, we used to go down Princess Street. We'd have the beer that looks like 7-Up. I think he called it Labatt's. I think it was Labatt's 50 or something. And we'd be drinking beers, just cruising the TR6 up and down the street, all around. I remember one night I had it down by the waterfront and had it parked, and I come out of the bar, and these girls were looking at it. She goes, is that a Mercedes? She thought it was one of those 450 coupes, Mercedes from the year. I said, no, that's not a Mercedes. I said, that's a British TR6. They both sort of had the same front end look, right? If you look at a Mercedes of that era, right? Yeah. But we'll pick up the story of the TR6 next Friday. Yeah, next Friday we'll do another one. But till then, guys, thanks for sharing the brouhaha with me. You probably got your drink already. I didn't want to say anything, but you probably already got it. Because the Guinness is good, yeah. Yeah, so till next time, I'd like each and every one of you to stay safe out there. You know what I mean. Thunder Road.